Today's program is brought to you by PennyStockProfessor.com. For all the best OTCBB stock picks, sign up at PennyStockProfessor.com.
Thank you for tuning in to another TBC Daily News Update. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano. U.S. airline shares vaulted on Tuesday after data from Continental Airlines showed revenue improvements in December. Continental shares up 12% at 20.25 on the New York Stock Exchange. The Area Airline Index XAL was up 5%. The airline industry is struggling from a 2009 downturn in travel demand.
Stocks ended a choppy session while little changed Tuesday as investors weighed a seesawing dollar, a slew of auto sales and reports on pending home sales and factory orders. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 12 points or 0.1%, while the S&P 500 added 3 points or 0.3%. The NASDAQ Composite was barely changed after the three leading indexes climbed the fresh 15-month highs on Monday. A weak dollar on Tuesday initially gave push to the dollar-traded commodities and select stocks that do business overseas. But the dollar turned mixed by the late afternoon, diluting its impact. A late session advance in the influential banking sector helped the market find its footing late in the session, while KBW AB&K index adding 2.2% thanks to strength in its components such as JP Morgan, Chase, and Capital One Financial. Investors are also being cautious after a tumultuous but strong year on Wall Street, and much of the broad S&P 500 managed to gain over 23% despite touching a more than 12-year low in March. Between that March 9th low and the year end, the S&P 500 gained 65%, but the gainers will be a more selective branch than last year, when most areas of the market are advanced.
Shares of fertilizer company Mosaic dropped 1.6% to $62.12 after the bell on Tuesday, after the company posted its fiscal second quarter results. Also heading lower in after-hours trading were shares of Sonic Corporation, down more than 8% to $9.40 after the drive-in chain reported its fiscal first quarter results.
The number of U.S. metropolitan areas with jobless rates above 15% increased in November, according to government figures released Tuesday, despite the biggest one-month drop in national rates in more than 3 years. National unemployment improved to a seasonably adjusted 10% in November, from the 26-year high of 10.2% hit in October. The rate had climbed for 12 out of the previous 13 months before November. Economists expect that the national rate will edge up 10.1% when the Labor Department releases its December jobs report on Friday. 3 areas in Michigan posted jobless rates higher than 15%, including Detroit. The city wrecked by the collapse of the auto industry continued to lead the nation's area of 1 million people or more, with the highest unemployment rate in November at 15.4%. California's Inland Empire, including Riverside, San Bernardino, and Ontario, ranked second to Detroit among the larger areas with an unemployment rate of 14.2% in November. El Centro, California, held its place as the metropolitan area with the highest unemployment rate at 29.2%, down from an upward revised 31.9% in October. The second highest rate was Yuma, Arizona, at 21.1%, a drop from 23.3% in October. Jobless rates were higher than 10% in 125 metropolitan areas in November, up 123 in October, and overall 143 cities in the Labor Department report had unemployment rates above the non-seasonably adjusted national figure of 9.4%, while 229 reported jobless rates below it. The 3 metro areas with the lowest unemployment rates in November were all in North Dakota, with Bismarck at 3.4%, followed by Fargo and Grand Forks at 3.7%. Large cities with the lowest jobless rates were New Orleans and Washington, D.C. Metro areas each at 6.1%. Oklahoma City followed close behind with an unemployment rate of 6.4%.
Ford Motor Company posted a 33% sales gain for December as U.S. auto sales ended 2009 on an upswing after a year that saw GM and Chrysler collapse into bankruptcy, and China overtake the United States as the biggest car market. The Ford sales surge included all categories of its cars and trucks and ran beyond the expectations of analysts and sent the company's stock sharply higher. Ford shares powered above $11 to hit their highest level since August 2005. Toyota Motor Corporation was just behind Ford with a 32% sales gain, Ford stock has gained 55%, a rally since early November, and has more than quadrupled over the past year as investors hit the number 2 U.S. automaker would steer clear of the federal bailouts that wiped out equity in its domestic rivals. Honda Motor Corporation posted a sales gain of nearly 20%. GM and Chrysler sales dropped 4%. General Motors Corporation posted a sales decline of 6%. After adjusting for population, U.S. auto sales saw their deepest decline since World War II in 2009. Full-year sales were expected to be near 10.5 million vehicles, down 40% from where the industry began the decade in 2000. An annual U.S. sales total near that level would be the lowest since the recession of 1982. Initial sales results pointed to a December sales rate of over 11 million vehicles. That was stronger than expected and the best total since the summer boom driven by the U.S. government's Cash for Clunkers trade-in incentive program. Both GM and Ford said they saw signs of global recovery underway, led by growth in markets like China and Brazil.
GMAC, the troubled finance company, last week scored a third government bailout. It expects to post a record fourth quarter loss of $5 billion. The company has also decided to try and sell its ResCap mortgage unit, which has lost billions of dollars since the U.S. housing market crashed. Those losses have been strained by the already stretched finances at GMAC, which is best known as a lender to the troubled U.S. auto industry. GMAC last week raised $3.8 billion by selling preferred securities to the government, satisfying the capital deficit identified during stress tests last spring. The sale gave the U.S. a 56% stake in GMAC while cutting the stake of other shareholders, including private equity firm Cerebras and car maker GM, by 1/3.
In fashion news, it won't be in stores until February, but Lancome's latest limited edition lipstick, Powder Porter, is already a hit with the hip set. Kiss and Tell, a juicy peach shade created in collaboration with the New York-based fashion designer Chris Benz, has been spotted on some pretty influential pouts, including those of Rachel Zoe, Eva Mendes, and Anne Hathaway. Naturally, the shade is also a favorite of Benz's friend and muse, the model Elettra Weidman, who appears with the designer on the lipstick's packaging.
Have you been denied a credit card, car loan, mortgage, apartment rental, or even a cell phone? Your credit score is probably under 720. Change your score and change your financial future with Philip Tyrone's 7 Steps to a 720 Credit Score. We'll show you how to raise your credit score for free. In just weeks, this simple system can get you approved and save you money.
That knocked our interest rates down from 11% to 7%.
I ended up saving $2,500 a month.
The first 100 callers will get Philip Tyrone's groundbreaking book for free. Just pay processing. That's a $30 value free. And if you call within the next 15 minutes, you'll get a free ticket to a phone-in seminar with Philip Tyrone himself. This exciting personal teleseminar will show you how to instantly improve your credit score and save money every month. Don't let a foreclosure, bankruptcy, missed payments, or short sale get in the way of your financial future.
Don't wait. To order, call 1-800-862-7840. That's 1-800-862-7840. Call now.
Here's a tantalizing, if brief, glimpse at the future of wind turbine optimization. Physord passes on the news that Denmark's Riso National Laboratory for Sustainable Energy have announced the world's first successful test of a wind turbine that uses a built-in anemometer to adjust itself to the oncoming wind for optimum power generation. The system works by using a laser to essentially see the wind before it reaches the turbine blades and adjust to what the conditions are going to be a moment later. By doing so, electricity production can be increased by 5%, translating into an increased revenue of $39,000 per year for a 4-megawatt turbine. In its press release, Riso DTU says the LIDAE system can be used to increase blade reliability by making the blades cope better with the irregularities of the wind. Subsequently, it is possible to produce larger blades, this increasing the energy production and power, and it makes for a much stronger turbine system.
Thank you for tuning in to another TBC Daily News Update. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.